Right, shall we do some Anthony Yarde tings?
Let's do it, mate.
Okay. Mickey boy, lead us in, bruv.
I'm not being funny. What the fuck is going on?
Right. Okay, yes, Anthony Yarde and ting. It's all going wrong, isn't it? It is all going wrong. And at the wrong time as well, man. I mean, none of us really knows what's going on. But from the outset, looks like it could be the worst timing ever for Anthony Yarde, doesn't it? With all this Saudi stuff going on. And now you're biting the hand that feeds Saudi. I'm confused, man. Thoughts on it all, Johnny B?
I think that Tunde put out a tweet and says, it's time for me to speak, something like that. And I just think it is. I just think everyone, in my opinion, like most of the fans out there love Anthony Yarde. Like one of them, myself, I think he's brilliant. Like the way he speaks, fucking heart of a lion, you know, going in over there to Russia to fight Kovalev, going to fight Beterbiev. Obviously, he had the fight with Lyndon Arthur that he lost, but I think he lost a few family members going into that fight or whatever. But just, yeah, I don't know. It's just a strange one, isn't it? Because I feel like everyone likes Anthony Yarde, and then all of a sudden, it's very plain to see that you've been with Frank Warren. You've had a lot of easy fights, just demolished jobs, like tick over fights, and then it's like all of a sudden a big fight, then a load of easy fights, then a big fight. And I feel like his career has been navigated, you know, perfectly. Don't get me wrong. Queensberry have done a good job, but he's had to go in there and fight some of these killers, you know, none other than Beterbiev. He had a good fight with him, but we've all been screaming for the Buatsi fight. Everyone's wanted that fight. Then we're in a situation where it can happen. Sky are there, you know, TNT are there, 50-50 deal, but then you want to get out of your contract with Frank Warren. Frank Warren, Queensberry is saying you're under contract. All I can think of is that they've got some sort of 3-fight deal or 4-fight deal, whatever it is. But if you don't have those fights in a certain amount of time, then the contract expires. That's what must be happening now. So,
like Buatsi, not Buatsi. Akoli had that argument.
Same
didn't
sort of thing I can imagine. And then obviously they're like, no, you've got a fight left of us. And then, you know, Yarde must be saying it's expired. So if he's waited for it to expire, so now he hasn't got to give Frank Warren his 10% or 20%, whatever he's getting. So when he has this 50-50 fight with Buatsi, he gets more money. This is a little bit like the old, I don't know, Kell Brook, didn't he travel to fight Terence Crawford and he didn't bring Dominic Ingle with him and he sort of cut Eddie Hearn out at the end. So he just wanted to get the most of the pot. So like, I get it. Like if you're Anthony Yarde, you're thinking, look, I've lost to Lyndon Arthur. I lost to Beterbiev. I lost to Kovalev. If I go in there, you know, have a fucking absolute war with Buatsi and I lose, I'm going to be in the Who Needs Him club. It's a long way back for me. So is he thinking that I want to maximise my money here? So I sort of get it. But I don't know, Matt. If that is it, if that's just the reason, I don't know. I suppose you're fighting for yourself, but I think most people will look at Frank Warren and say he's done a good job up until now. But I don't know. Is that it? Ultimately, I don't know what's going on. But I think if you want your reputation to be intact and be, you know, a champ that everyone loves and likes, I think you should come out and say it, because at the moment, it just don't look that good, does it?
There's a loyalty aspect to it as well. I mean, a lot of people in boxing will say there's no loyalty in boxing, but then maybe for people like us, we're looking at it and thinking, oh, come on, Frank's been loyal to you. You should stay with him and be fair. But there's two arguments that way as well. Imagine Tunde, though. Imagine like he's saying he's going to release everything, isn't he? He's going to speak about it. Imagine if he comes out and says, right, I'm going to tell you everything now. And he just goes, lions in the camp. Then just walks out.
Look, playing devil's advocate, we don't know, right? It could be what you said there, John, or it could be, you know, Anthony Yarde's taken some fucking chief support fights, you know. A bigger name as he is, he's taken some real tick over fucking fights where it's just like you don't even know who the guy is that he's fighting. Maybe those fights were a handshake deal and it weren't part of his contract, or maybe he thinks should have been part of his contract, you know, or vice versa. We just don't know. It could be a whole different various reasons why this has happened. But look, they've obviously got their lawyers to look at it, and their lawyers are saying to him, look, you're fucking out of contract. So I don't understand how can there be a grey area here? How can one side say you're not and one side say that you are? I think it is something like that. I think he had a fight in between that was probably counted towards his fight deal, X amount of fight deal, that Frank Warren said, well, no, we gave you that just to keep you active. And he went, no, mate, I've had my fight now. I've done my fucking 4 fights or my 5 fights. Let me out my deal. I think it's something along the lines of that. But it's come at a worst time. But
Frank knows how to do a contract, though, doesn't he?
And
that man spent time with Don King.
Mate,
he knows how to do a contract.
But to rub the Willie Hutchinson thing as well under the nose of everything.
Don't ever say that in the same fucking sentence. To rub the Willie.
Greta Thunberg and Willies.
That was good, yeah. To rub the Hutchinson situation under their noses as well, just to go, well, fuck it then. If you ain't going to fucking play ball, then we're going to give the fight to him. And again, we don't know the terms of the deal. He could get him on some sort of shit deal where he's taking more than he should, and Anthony Yarde feels a bit begrudged by it. Who knows?
What's a mad one is that, we said this before, right? Is that now Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren are working close together, it's almost like there's such a good relationship here. They're earning so much money from the Saudis. We're probably going to see less of the poaching of fighters from each other's stable. And obviously, when this did happen with Anthony Yarde, I think someone said it to Eddie Hearn, oh, he could be a free agent now. Are you interested? And he said, no, I've got a good relationship with Frank at the moment. It's someone I'm not interested in, where he would have been before. So, as I say, if you're Anthony Yarde, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren have got the keys to the Saudis. So, if you want to be a free agent because you don't want to give Frank Warren 10%, I might be wrong. As I say, we don't know what the reason is. But if that is the reason, because that's what it looks like it is, so where are you going to go? What, to boxer?
Nah, you're going to go boxer. You won't go boxer.
So, what, are you going to go to America? Golden Boy?
Why not? I think you're going to... It's not long before you see Turkey do some sort of...
Why would he not go boxer?
Because they haven't got a foot in the door, have they? With the Saudis,
it's still Sky Sports. Sky Sports is Sky Sports, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's the same folding.
It's just
as they're getting over there in the Middle East.
You're leaving Frank Warren when Frank Warren is just won 5v5. He's like fucking, he's over there in the Saudis to go over to boxer. Like,
you'd have to eat humble pie, wouldn't you? You'd have to go home and speak to your family and go, listen, right, we're walking away from a winning position here. Right, they're massive. The Queensbury as big as they've been now in the last 10 years, big as they've been. And to leave this situation would be silly. If I'm him, I'd eat a bit of humble pie, pick the phone up and go, listen, what do you need me to do? If it's one more fight, I'll do the fight. Like, there's no point being all stubborn about this.
Frank Warren's really hurt about this, isn't he?
Yeah, maybe Frank's
Is it the fact that the contract's up because it's a time issue, and then on a technicality, Anthony Yarde is saying, well, look, I want to renegotiate my contract here before we go into the Boatsi fight. I want X. Frank Warren's like, no, I want this. And all of a sudden, there's a little dispute there that Tundi might come out and speak about. But I just say, if you're going to go over to Sky Sports and fight Boatsi, what? You don't think Ben Shalom's going to take a cut? If you're promoted by boxers, you still got to give someone a fucking cut to have the fight. It just, none of it makes sense to me. None of it makes sense.
And it's not like Anthony Yarde's stock is massively, massively high. And I mean that in terms of his resume. He lost to Beterbiev, as good as the performance was. And since then, he's come back, he's beat Jorge Silva and Marco Nikolic. Two names probably 80% of people ain't heard of. So it's not like he's coming in there with a load of juice behind him and going, well, look, I've beaten, I've done this, I've done that. But I want a better deal.
I said it before, again, no offence to him and Tunde, if they're listening or whatnot, but I do think he thinks his worth is a lot more than it possibly is. And that's why all this is happening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But on paper, at the end of the day, your best win is Lyndon Arthur.
That's a fact.
And that ain't really got as much scope in it as other people, has it?
And that's the same man who beat you. I didn't think he
beat you, and he lost the first fight.
Yeah. So
has he got a better win than Lyndon Arthur? Don't think so.
No, he hasn't.
See, that's just shocked me, you saying that. But yeah, I think you're right there, yeah. It's just fucking bizarre, isn't it? The whole thing's just really bizarre and a bit sad as well, to be honest with you. And also, did you see old Ben Shalom, didn't he ask for a 2-week extension so he could talk directly to Anthony Yarde?
Is he still alive? I haven't heard from him for about 4 fucking months. I genuinely haven't seen a Ben Shalom interview pop up or anything. boxer-wise, pop up for so long. I know we've been thick in the old 5 versus 5, but other than a Coley, I haven't seen fuck all from Boxer.
But we will do next week, boys.
Yeah,
'cause
good
we
fight
are
next week.
Rolling on to Selhurst Park on the 15th of June.
Oh,
really
yes.
excited about that.
So, are we done with Anthony Yarde then? I suppose we just don't know what Tunde's going to say, do we? So once we know what he's going to say, we'll have a...
We don't know what he's going to say, and if you ain't going to fight Buatsi, as you say, you said it there, like Willie Hutchinson, you must have been looking at that thinking, fucking hell, that could have been me doing that to Craig Richards, and like he would have got £600,000 in the bag straight off the bat. Do you know what I mean? Could have beat Craig Richards, fucking profile sky high. You got another decent win on your record. You say better than the Lyndon Arthur one. It's like, it seems to me like a mistake. However, I ain't got a fucking clue what's gone on. That's private conversations. It could be loads of stuff going on that we don't even know about. Just, I hope they sort it out because he's a brilliant addition to that weight.